Testing 1, 2, 3 sounds good to me. She got booked while the burglars got away. Tell me, in what world does the victim end up in handcuffs and the criminals vanish without a name? Imagine this: you're out of town, doing your job, living your dream. Then you come home to find out your home was robbed and the police are waiting to arrest you. Be right back.
Where money? You turns, big wheels turning, blue lights flashing, my spirit burning, ticket in my hand, but I'm still earning. Suwani tried to stop me, now I'm world learning. I hit that left when the light was red. Police pull up trying to check my head. Man stepped out, that's what he said. I smile so wide, my fame just spread. Got the whole dash cam, yeah they press record, but I'm too blessed, can't ever be ignored. If life throws shade, I'ma hit the chord. Got a Grammy numb, you can't afford. Mirror check, lip gloss popping, flashing lights, but my hustle ain't stopping. Open container, I'm trend topping. Pull me over, but my spirit's shocking. You turns, big wheels turning, blue lights flashing, my spirit burning, ticket in my hand, but I'm still earning. Suwani tried to stop me, now I'm world learning. They said I was swerving, I said I was serving. Bars so hot, whole street observing. License in red, but my flow's unnerving. Cuffed for a moment, but watch me resurging. I'm the queen of Memphis, bringing it live. Even Gwinnett County can't dim my drive. Sip a little true, watch my name revive. While you recitations, I thrive and thrive. Legal fees, stacking, I call that merch. Turn my court date to a Sunday church. From the pulpit to the parking lot perch. I'm a phoenix, baby, watch me lurch. Na na na. You turns, big wheels turning, blue lights flashing, my spirit burning, ticket in my hand, but I'm still earning. Suwani tried to stop me, now I'm world learning. Spin that wheel, do a donut flex. Traffic laws trying to break my checks. Pull me over, but I redirect. Respect my name, put it in bold text. Head high, wrist froze, faith in my soul. Red lights can't stop a heart this bold. Ticket in my purse, but my story been told. I'm GloRilla, baby, certified gold. You turns, big wheels turning, blue lights flashing, my spirit burning, ticket in my hand, but I'm still earning. Suwani tried to stop me, now I'm world learning. So next time you see me, don't act surprised if I'm switching lanes with the flash in my eyes. Georgia can ticket me, but I rise. Turn my U-turns into platinum skies. So next time you see me, don't act surprised if I'm switching lanes with the flash in my eyes. Georgia can ticket me, but I rise. Turn my U-turns into platinum skies. So next time you see me, don't act surprised if I'm switching lanes with the flash in my eyes. Georgia can't ticket me, but I rise. Turn my U-turns into platinum skies.
GloRilla got robbed, then arrested. Who does that to a victim? Welcome to Unorganized Chaos. I am the evangelist of entertainment. This is a whosoever will zone. All are welcome here, especially if you're gay, straight, crippled, or crazy. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, turn on that notification button. This is a place where absolutely nothing makes sense, which makes everything make sense. GloRilla got robbed, then arrested. That ain't justice. But that's what happened to GloRilla, and we're about to break it all the way down. She says her house was invaded and robbed while she was out of town, performing at a WNBA All-Star game in Indianapolis. She denies being busted or present at the scene. She criticizes the authorities for focusing on cannabis in the house rather than catching the intruders. I don't understand. Armed robbers broke into her house. Shots was fired. Oh, let's not worry about them. We smell weed, so we're going to focus on this dangerous weed instead of dangerous intruders out here in the neighborhood who might be trying to break into somebody else's house. Make that make sense. She states that she was the only one arrested, despite being the victim of the burglary and not being present. Let's get into it because this ain't just news. It's a blueprint of how black women stay criminalized just for surviving. GloRilla wasn't even at home. Her house got robbed. 3 armed men came in like they paid rent. Shots was fired. The scene was chaotic. And when police showed up, the suspects were gone. No arrests, no leads, just smoke. So you would think that this law enforcement agency will have some type of common sense to say, hey, we got some 3 armed men out here rolling around in our neighborhood, and our duty is to serve and protect. Now, which one do you think is more important in this situation? The odor of a substance that smells like marijuana, or go find these robbers who have already demonstrated that they don't have any issue with breaking into someone's house? Take a breath. So you think law enforcement would treat her like the victim, right? Wrong. They smelled weed, called in a drug task force. Y'all don't have a robbery task force? Got a search warrant. Then waited to slap cuffs on the woman whose home just got invaded. Then none of y'all think, hey, this looks real bad. Was the weed gonna walk away? How did y'all know it didn't belong to her? How did y'all know she wasn't set up? And if the robbers were already gone, why are you snooping in the house? Was it plain view? Or did you just smell the odor? It's like, hey, let's get a search warrant. This weed is dangerous. It's more dangerous than 3 armed men. This wasn't about justice. This was about optics, about headlines, about a system that sees blackness as suspicious by default. Let me be clear. If GloRilla was white, country star, big house, same story, she'd be on Good Morning America talking about trauma, not taking a mug shot. This is bigger than one arrest. This is about how black women are punished for being visible, vocal, and unprotected. We're supposed to be grateful just to survive. But GloRilla deserves more than survival. She deserves justice. And so do all the women who never make the news. Wow. That must have been some dangerous reading. I just got to see this one. It must have been really dangerous. Good gracious. From what GloRilla said in her tweet and what the video reports, here's the issue. No one has clearly proven who the cannabis belonged to. How did y'all get a warrant? Yet law enforcement apparently arrested her after a break-in at her home. Come on, seriously. Now, I know I have some diagnosis, but is this making sense to anybody? Can anybody make this logical to me? Just make it logical. I'm not talking about having weed is illegal. Okay, having weed is illegal. Make it logical that they would find the weed more dangerous than 3 armed men. Did anybody go out there? Why are we focused on weed and finding these 3 armed robbers? Her home was broken into while she was out of town, out of state. But let's break down what likely would have happened. She was performing at the WNBA All-Star game in Indianapolis. That gives her a solid alibi. If she wasn't present, she didn't possess. If she wasn't present, she didn't possess. Don't the law says you have to be in possession of the substance in order to be found guilty of it? Has the law changed? So now you tell me I'm in my house and my uncle's brothers, sisters, cousin, niece come over and bring weed to my house. My house get robbed. I happen to be on vacation. You come into the house and you see it. Now I'm getting arrested for a substance of being in my house. I knew nothing about it because my sister, brothers, uncle, cousins, niece brought it into the house. I'm just asking somebody to make it make sense. I know it's unorganized chaos. Possession requires proof. Legally, to charge someone with possession, the state has to prove knowledge. The person knew it was there. Control, the person had the ability to access or control it. She out of state. Did she have the ability to access and control? GloRilla, you got some superpowers, girl. You can move things from a distance. I heard that God can do that. It's the God in you. They mad. They're coming after the God in you. But you're stronger. If a home was broken into, any number of people, including the robbers, could have brought that cannabis in. How can they prove that the robbers did not bring the cannabis in? What if their sole purpose was to come in, break in, plant it, because they had other ulterior motives or something? You never know. Prove me wrong beyond a reasonable doubt. Because what y'all did was totally unreasonable. Either way, police would need clear evidence tying it directly to her. Fingerprints, you mean to tell me y'all dusted for fingerprints and everything? Or y'all would be willing to do that over weed? Did anybody try to discover if the armed robbers had gloves on? Or if there were any possible latent prints or fingerprints or anything? Did the armed robbers happen to cut themselves? Any foot impressions? Shoe impressions? Hand impressions? Palm impressions? Anything? So they went out of all of their way to put her in handcuffs under circumstantial evidence at best. There's a unclear chain of evidence. Was the cannabis in a personal item like her purse? Was it laying out in a locked safe? Were there security cameras? Police would need to establish exclusive access, and that's difficult after a burglary or robbery. Possible bias or overreach. This is most definitely overreach. Let's be honest, if she wasn't famous, would they have arrested the homeowner? It smells like a case of celebrity bias. They knew it was her house and wanted to make a show of it. Over policing. Instead of prioritizing catching the intruders, what you think anybody with any type of common sense would be doing. What's more dangerous, armed robbers or the cannabis? You tell me. Which one is more dangerous right now? What's the extenuating circumstances right now? Which one is the most important thing to capture right now? A bunch of men running around here, breaking into homes with guns, or weed that's stationary unless it has feet to walk. They pivoted to low-level cannabis enforcement. Arresting a black woman after her home was violated looks real bad and sounds even worse when she wasn't even there. There's no public evidence proving the marijuana belonged to GloRilla or the burglars, unless the investigators uncovered something specific like surveillance footage, text, or labeled containers. It's speculative, even if she's ever got pulled over or arrested before for marijuana. What does that have to do with somebody breaking into her home? And now, our history shows that this homeowner has been found in possession of marijuana. So let's look for that instead of looking for these armed robbers. And if you were the one who got burglarized, had nothing to do with the contraband, instead ended up in cuffs, you'll be mad too. What did they say to the judge to get a warrant signed to search or arrest GloRilla after her house was invaded while she was out of town. Let's break this down carefully. What the law requires for a warrant. Now, as most of you all know, I'm a former police officer. I am no longer a police officer. I'm just using the knowledge, skills, and abilities that I can remember in order to use this towards my advantage to write this out and hopefully to help someone. Hopefully it helped the law enforcement who was crazy enough to go out of marijuana instead of armed robbers. I just don't understand it. And if I'm wrong, I get my email is open. I get emails. I really do. My comments are open. Now the emails I get that are not constructive, I have to be honest, I read 2 or 3 lines and I see it going in a direction that is that would disturb my peace. I don't even bother. So if you're gonna send me an email, like, you're just wasting your time. But if it's a constructive email and and I have gotten that, and it says, hey, I don't agree, because I wrote one about the William McNeil Jr. case, and I gotta say I don't agree with your video, and they put out reasons why, and I responded. If they want to share, I'm not. I didn't share the email. They didn't give me permission. It was a personal email. Now, public comments I will respond to publicly, but private emails, unless they give me permission, then I will respond publicly. But they send me a private email, and I respond, and I respected them. And some of their points I agreed with, some of their points I didn't agree with, and some of them we was just, but it was a decent conversation of 2 grown people agreeing to disagree. Now those I will read all day. But if you using derogatory language, or I see that you're not really trying to have a meeting of the minds, you just write an email because you're upset and you got Superman powers behind the keyboard, then don't even bother. But if you want to do it, that's up to you. I'm just letting you know now, more than likely it will not get a response or read by me. And if you've ever written something derogatory to me and I've responded, please embarrass me and publish it. Make a video about it. Say unorganized chaos is crazy because I wrote her a crazy email and she responded. Because I never will. Not even just in YouTube world, but in my personal life, that's just not me. Anybody who knows me will tell you that. If somebody come to you and say Frida said this or Frida did this, they'll be like, what? That's not like her. You can send me a text message, and if it's something that's gonna disturb my peace, you ain't gotta ever worry about me responding. I mean, I just don't have the time. But God bless you. What the law requires for a warrant. To get a search or arrest warrant, officers must submit a sworn affidavit to a judge. Police officers lie, by the way. The affidavit must include probable cause, not just suspicion. Probable cause that a crime was committed, yes, an armed robbery was committed, and the place or person named in the warrant is connected to that crime. So in this case, they had to convince the judge that a crime involving cannabis occurred inside her house. She either committed it or was responsible for it. Evidence of that crime could be found in her home or tied to her directly. Possible scenarios the police claim. Possible. Don't forget that word before you email me. Here's what they might have told the judge. It's all speculation. Unless they unseal the affidavit or somebody do open records request. I ain't got time for the open records request, but I'm just basing this off of the video that I saw. I think it was 11 Alive. Cannabis was found in a personal area that only GloRilla supposedly had access to. Really? Now, if I'm an armed robber and I break into your home, I have no access to your home, period. But I'm in here. So, how can you prove that the homeowner, meaning GloRilla, is the only person who supposedly had access to a personal area if a whole 3-armed gang then broke into my house and went into all the areas, personal, public, private, whatever? So you mean to tell me armed robbers break into people's houses and say, hey, man, let's avoid the bedroom and the closet and the purses because those are all personal. So we're gonna go We're gonna rob some houses, but we're gonna stay from all personal areas. We're not gonna disturb any personal area. How we don't know that the armed robber placed the weed there, took the cannabis out of their pockets. So they say, hey, I don't need this. Let me grab this $1,000 watch or something like that. I'll leave the weed here and take this watch and get way more for it. Speculation. Prior knowledge, police may have claimed they had intel, tips, or past reports about drugs at her residence. Items left untouched by the robbers that allegedly pointed to her. Security footage showing nobody bringing cannabis in, implying it was already there. Plain view doctrine. If officers were let in and saw cannabis in plain sight during a robbery call, that could justify a broader warrant if they said they suspected illegal possession or intent to distribute. Now this right here, it makes you second guess, and it's sad. But it makes you second guess even calling law enforcement while your home is being robbed with armed men. Because you look like now, which one of them am I more likely to survive out of? Which one of them am I more likely not to go to jail from? The police or the armed robber? Which one would give me more grace? Because they both are doing the same thing, which is making me a victim. The armed robbers victimized her. Then the police came in and did the same thing. Finding cannabis after a break-in doesn't automatically mean it's the homeowners. Somebody go down there to Forsyth County and let them know that, please. And if they knew she was out of town, it weakens any claim that she was in possession at that time. Has anybody found these armed robbers yet? Has the police said anything about these armed robbers yet? If this was truly about cannabis and not about catching the intruders, then they shifted focus from victim to suspect based on property ownership alone. They might have used racial bias, celebrity status, or assumptions to argue probable cause. Judges often sign off quickly on warrant requests, especially if the officer uses buzzwords like odor of marijuana, evidence of trafficking, or previous tips. I mean, since I'm a former officer, I don't necessarily blame the judges for signing or not signing any warrants that are presented to them, because the judge is totally based on the sworn oath from an officer. So most of the time when the crime is committed, the judge is not on scene. If we would follow proper protocol instead of trying to be the enforcer, the jury, the judge, the executioner, and things would go smoothly. But most officers want to arrest you, put you in jail, and then kill you, or skip to put you in jail, partless, arrest them and unalive them on scene, and say we found the knife. So I don't. Just from my personal experience, judges only can go based off of what the lying police officers are swearing on the oath is the truth. So I've seen too much of it. The judge can only sign off on a warrant which is presented to them from officers who supposedly were on the scene. That's how a robbery victim becomes a headline, and the robbers still free. Apparently, the cannabis is way more dangerous than 3 on. That's the message that I have received from this situationship. If you've gotten a different message from it, I'd love to hear it. What we can do next. Want the truth? Request a warrant affidavit. If this happened in the U.S., it's a public record unless sealed. And they might say it's still sealed because of ongoing investigation. What are you investigating? What's the ongoing investigation? The cannabis or the armed robbers? You can file an open records request with the police department or local court to get the search warrant affidavit, the inventory of what was seized, and the arrest report. They flip the script like this: Your Honor, she just got robbed. Yes, she was out of town, but maybe that green leafy stuff is hers. Let us in her house. And the system said, sounds good, approved. Wow. It is not normal for the victim of a home robbery to get arrested, especially if they weren't even home at the time of the crime. Let's get this clear and loud for the folks in the back. Here's what's supposed to have happened. If your home is broken into, you are the victim. If your home is broken into, you are the victim. If your home is broken into, you are the victim. Somebody go run back for a second and let them know that. Law enforcement is supposed to secure the scene, investigate the robbery, collect evidence to identify the intruders, protect your property rights. That's what's supposed to happen. You being arrested while out of town with an alibi because of what police found after a break-in, that's abnormal and raises red flags. There are some exceptions. There are very limited situations where a homeowner might get arrested after a robbery. Illegal items in plain sight. If police respond to a robbery and see contraband clearly visible, they may open an investigation into that separate issue. But even then, they need proof is yours. Evidence that you knew about it and had control over it. I have to tell y'all the truth. I have to be honest with y'all. I have a family member who smokes cannabis, and we are in Georgia. As far as I know, it's illegal. Some cities don't arrest for it. They'll just give you a citation. Now, this family member does not live with me or my parents or anything, but this family member may come by and visit. And this family member may sometimes spend the night if they want to. I would hate, and my parents are veterans, have served this country, and are retired. I would hate for this family member to have accidentally left something in a rush to leave and the home get robbed and the police come and say, uh-oh, we know your house got robbed, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but unfortunately we're going to have to arrest you because we found a roach. We found a teeny tiny piece of roach that we suspect that this green leafy substance might be cannabis. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Now, I pray that the police here in the jurisdiction that I'm living in right now have a little bit more better sense than that. I've not heard of anything like that ever going around here. I grew up here. If anything, they would be more focused seriously on catching the on right. Because when you watch the news here, they're literally like the police is like, look, this is the suspects. Have you seen a vehicle like this in your neighborhood? Did you see anything suspicious? That's what you'll see. Have they put anything out saying, hey, was your uncle, nephew, son, or whatnot missing at these hours? Were they close by? Did they have evidence? Do they have a vehicle like this? Did anybody see anything where you happen to be out walking your dog, looking out the window, anything like that? See anything or anyone out of place, anybody running? That would be the news coverage here. It wouldn't be somebody's house got robbed and the victim has now been arrested due to finding a roach in their home. Now, if there's an existing warrant, a pre-existing warrant for your arrest unrelated to the break-in and police showed up, yeah, they'll arrest you, but that doesn't apply here. And I found that to be interesting. What a break, a protein shake break. I remember I was playing Cops and Robbers. We had a person who had a warrant for their arrest. But this person wasn't arrested, even though there was a warrant for their arrest. Because this person needed or had to go and do something else. As far as I know, if a judge signs a warrant for your arrest, you're supposed to be arrested. But I guess in some situations, that doesn't apply. That's just from my own personal experience. I don't know. If you claim your home is if they claim your home is a known drug location, and use that to pivot attention from the robbery to a drug investigation, and you are no longer being treated like a victim, you are being targeted. Legally speaking, this is often referred to as a fruit of the poisonous tree situation, meaning if evidence was discovered during an unlawful search or an investigation that ignored proper procedure, it could be thrown out in court. Yes, indeed. Also, GloRilla has a strong Fourth Amendment argument here. A right to privacy and protection from unreasonable searches and seizures may have been violated. The armed robbers violated all of her rights, especially unreasonable searches and seizures. And now you have the people come in who's supposed to serve and protect those rights come and do the same thing. Unreasonable searches. If your house get robbed and the police say, "Thanks for calling us, now you're under arrest," that's not just doing their job, that's profiling, misuse of authority, or lazy police work. They didn't want to solve the break-in, they wanted a bust. This ain't normal, this ain't just, this ain't over. From robbed to booked, when the victim becomes the mugshot. Because sometimes in America, black pain is ignored, but black presence is prosecuted. Who called the police? Family members or house occupants called 911 around 1:30 a.m. on July the 20th to report an armed home invasion in Forsyth County, Georgia. There's no mention of an alarm system or automated alert triggering the deputies. It appears the emergency call was made by people at the home after intruders entered and chaos began. What did the officers do at the scene? Responding deputies encountered a violent scene. 3 suspects were inside stealing items, and someone inside the house fired a weapon, causing the robbers to flee. No injuries were reported. Okay, did the responding deputies flee after the suspects? Or did they say, "Hold on, we smell marijuana. Let's let them go rob somebody else's house while we stay here and find a strong odor of marijuana"? That strong odor of marijuana, that detection prompted them to contact a drug task force. A whole drug task force on marijuana that wasn't going anywhere. And secure a search warrant, which led to the discovery of a significant amount of marijuana in plain view inside the master bedroom closet. I wonder why it was a significant amount. Was they collecting it to rob it, to steal it, so they put it all together? Or were they bringing it in so y'all can do exactly what you did, which was arrested? It wasn't an alarm system. It was family on the ground calling for help during a violent break-in. God bless your family. I know you probably feel some type of way, but you didn't do nothing wrong. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. Unfortunately, Forsyth County did not. The police arrived expecting to investigate a robbery, but once they detected the odor of cannabis, it took all their senses away. They got high on the odor of cannabis and were no longer able to do their job, which was to go and catch the armed robbers. Their focus shifted to drug enforcement. Meanwhile, the actual robbers remain at large. No warrants have been issued for them yet. The robbers have not been arrested. Let that marinate. The robbers have not been arrested. Here's what we know. The robbery happened around 1:30 a.m. on July the 20th. GloRilla was out of town performing at the WNBA All-Star game. According to Forsyth County Sheriff Office, 3 armed suspects entered her home. Someone inside the home fired a weapon, causing the suspects to flee. The police arrived after the suspects were already gone. To date, no suspects have been arrested, named, or publicly identified in relation to the break-in. But guess who did get arrested? GloRilla, the homeowner, the victim, the person not even present during the crime, was arrested after she returned to the property. Wow. The reason? Police claimed they found a large amount of marijuana in her master bedroom closet during the robbery investigation. Translation: they couldn't catch the robbers, couldn't protect her home, but they could pivot to drug enforcement, get a search warrant, and arrest the victim instead. Let's call it what it is. This ain't justice. It's distraction. It's performative policing. It's punishment without priority. I bet y'all wonder if they got a picture of them standing behind that marijuana. Hey y'all, let's take a picture of this drug bust we just got. Because somehow in America, a black woman can get robbed, be out of town, have her house invaded, and still wind up in handcuffs, while the actual criminals ride off into the wind, unbothered and unnamed. The police use more time and focus on arresting GloRilla than capturing the actual robbers. Time and focus, who got more? Focus on the robbers. Police received a 911 call about a violent home invasion with 3 armed intruders. By the time they arrived, the suspect had already fled. According to all reports, no arrests, no names, no public sketches, no bolo alerts, no press asking for tips. And here's the kicker. They haven't even confirmed whether they're actively searching for the suspects. Now, if people were in the house when the armed robbers broke into the home, did you ask the people in the house, hey, what did they sound like? What did they look like? Do you remember if they would have gloves on? Did they have masks on? How tall were they? How short were they? How fat were they? How thin were they? Where were they at? Where did you see them at? Let's look in this area. Did they happen to injure themselves, cut themselves? Any DNA possible? Did they happen to spit or happen to leave blood evidence or fingerprints or anything? I wonder if there was any of those questions were asked to the people who were in the home. I wonder if the people in the home gonna come out and publicly say actually what did or what the deputies did not do and say. I wouldn't be shocked. They haven't even confirmed whether they're actively searching for the suspects. Outcome: 0 suspects arrested. 0 public updates. Now let's turn the focus on GloRilla. They smelled marijuana. It's dangerous. They must have got high as hell off that marijuana just by smelling it. They smelled marijuana inside the home during the robbery response. They paused the robbery investigation. Wow. Called in a multi-agency drug task force. Multi-agency drug task force. Did anyone think, hey, okay, let's think for a minute. What's the greater good for all involved, the whole environment involved, the whole world? What's the greater good? Should we focus on 3 armed men or 3 armed robbers, or should we focus on marijuana? Let's put our thinking caps. Did anybody say that? A multi-agency drug task force drafted and obtained a search warrant, went through her personal bedroom closet, seized a large amount of cannabis, waited for her to return home, arrested her for possession. Wow. Hey, I know you in Hawaii on vacation, Frida, but we're at your house. We need you to come home so we can arrest you for possession of this marijuana inside your house. That's what I just heard. Multiple officers, interagency coordination, paperwork, planning, custody transport, mugshot, all focused on the homeowner, not the home invaders. Arrests made. None of the robbers were arrested. GloRilla, yes, we're going to arrest the victim, the homeowner. Public statements, minimum public statements about the robbers. Full press coverage about the arrest of the victim, the homeowner. Search warrant executed. For the robbers, no. For the homeowner victim, yes. Drug task force called in. Do they have a robbery task force? Was the drug task force called in for the robbers? No. For the victim homeowner, yes. Evidence collected, unknown for the robbers. For the victim homeowner, yes. The focus after the initial 911 call, cold trail towards the armed robbers. Drug enforcement, hot trail towards the victim homeowner. So what's the truth? They didn't solve the robbery. They didn't chase the suspects. They turned the victim into the case. This ain't about public safety. This is about public optics. And GloRilla became the headline because they failed to get the handcuffs on the real criminals. If GloRilla were white, the likelihood of her being arrested under these same circumstances would be dramatically lower. And that's not just opinion, it's backed by decades of data, law enforcement patterns, and real world disparities in drug enforcement and victim treatment. Let's break it down. Based on the facts of this case, she was out of town during the crime. Her home was burglarized. Police entered the home and found marijuana. She returned later and was arrested for possession. That's not how the justice system typically works for white homeowners. Here's why. Marijuana arrests, black versus white. Black people are 3.6 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana possession than white people, despite similar usage rates, according to the ACLU's 2020 report on marijuana enforcement across all 50 states. In some counties, the disparity rises to 10 times or more. In Forsyth County, Georgia, where GloRilla was arrested, black residents make up only about 4% of the population, but are disproportionately policed and criminalized. White victims of robberies aren't treated as suspects. Historically, when white homeowners report a break-in, the focus stays on finding the suspects. Wow. The focus stays on finding the suspects. Ain't that something? Recovering stolen items, protecting the victim. You rarely, if ever, see white women arrested for marijuana after someone broke into her home while she was gone. Because being a victim and being criminalized are two different lanes in their world. But for black folks, the lanes merge. Probable cause equals police discretion equals racial bias. Police discretion plays a massive role in enforcement. Studies show white suspects are more likely to be let off with a warning. Black and brown suspects are more likely to be charged, searched, and arrested, even when doing the exact same thing. So if GloRilla were a white country artist named Gracie Lynn with the lake house in Forsyth County, chances are the police would have chalked the weed up to somebody must have brought it in. She would have gotten a phone call, not a pair of cuffs, and the press would have touched the story because there wouldn't been a mugshot to circulate. Real talk, what's the likelihood? Scenario: black woman, white woman, arrested after burglary. Black woman, likely. White woman, rarely. Drug task force called. Black woman, yes. White woman, unlikely. Press coverage as suspect. Black woman, front page. White woman, often shielded. Treated as victim first. Black woman, overlooked. White woman, presumed innocent. If GloRilla were white, she'd be on the Today Show talking about how terrifying the robbery was. Instead, she is in headlines being framed like a criminal because black women, especially powerful, visible ones, aren't granted the luxury of being innocent first. This is systematic, predictable, and deadly familiar. I will not let a broken system define my worth or rewrite my truth. Like GloRilla, I rise above false blame, knowing what being a victim does not make me guilty, and my power cannot be stolen. Isaiah 10, 1-2. Woe to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees, to deprive the poor of their rights and withhold justice from the oppressed. Isaiah 10, 1-2. This verse speaks directly to systems that punish the vulnerable instead of protecting them, just like GloRilla, who was treated like a suspect instead of a survivor. Read The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness by Michelle Alexander. This powerful book breaks down how the criminal justice system systematically targets black communities, turning victims into suspects and survival into criminality. GloRilla's situation echoes exactly what Alexander exposes. Being black in America too often means being guilty until proven invisible. Watch the movie When They See Us. This gut-wrenching miniseries tells the true story of the exonerated 5 black and brown boys falsely accused and criminalized by a system that never saw them as victims. Just like GloRilla, their innocence didn't protect them. It's a haunting, necessary reminder that in America, being vulnerable while black can still get you locked up. Listen to Caught Up by Jasmine Sullivan. This soulful track captures the emotional chaos of being betrayed, misunderstood, and unjustly caught in someone else's mess. GloRilla's situation mirrors that same tension, where the innocents get entangled while the guilty disappear. The pain in Jasmine's voice feels like the mudshot they never saw coming. Here's a quote from Michelle Alexander, the author of The New Jim Crow. She once said, "We have not ended racial caste in America. We have merely redesigned it." GloRilla's arrest after being victimized is a modern reflection of that redesign, where justice is filtered through suspicion and blackness is treated like probable cause for the misjudged, the mistreated, and the misunderstood. Dear God of justice, protector of the innocent and restorer of the broken, we come to you heavy with confusion and righteous anger. How is it, Lord, that the one who was wronged and shackled, while the ones who invaded, violated, and vanished go untouched? Cover GloRilla and every black woman who's ever been criminalized for surviving. Wrap them in your favor like a shield and speak truth louder than any false report. Let every system built to silence us stumble and collapse under the weight of your righteousness. Turn every courtroom into a sanctuary of truth, every officer into a vessel of integrity, and every chain meant to humiliate into a testimony of resilience. Lord, we declare we are not what they say about us. We are not the mugshots, the headlines, or the whispered suspicions. We are the beloved, the bold, the battle-tested, and still breathing. Vindicate the victims, correct the corrupt, and teach the world that being black is not a crime. Being loud is not unlawful, and being strong does not mean we are without pain. In the mighty, miracle-working name of Jesus, amen. GloRilla got robbed, then arrested. Who does that to a victim? If you're out of town, your house gets robbed and the cops show up, why are you the one ending up in handcuffs? I mean, what in the bizarro Bible Belt is going on in Forsyth County? America loves to flip a headline like pancakes on Sunday. They will turn a robbery into a drug bust and a victim into the villain, as long as the target is black and the spotlight's bright. GloRilla was not home. She got robbed, and somehow she still got arrested. That ain't just backwards. That's systematic moonwalking in steel-toe boots. Let's rewind the scene like it's a BET late night rerun. Around 1:30 a.m., her home in Georgia gets invaded by 3 armed suspects. They didn't come to borrow sugar. They came to take it all. Someone inside the house fires back. Police roll up, but by the time blue lights hit the driveway, the robbers are gone. Not arrested, not named, not even described. But guess what they did find? A strong odor of marijuana. And just like that, the robbery investigation turns into a weed search party. ACLU reports show black people are 3.6 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana than white people, even though we all puff equally. So what happened to the robbers? Poof, gone like rent money in July. But here comes the twist. This is a system that totally skips all logic. Now when GloRilla comes home, they waiting with the warrant, not for the intruders, not for the shooters, for her. You're under arrest, ma'am, for being in your own house while black. Let that sizzle. You got robbed. You weren't even there, but the system said, let's make you the headline. And that's not just bias, queens. That's the business model. Michelle Alexander called it, we haven't ended racial caste. We have just redesigned it. We've gone from crime scene to search scene to scapegoat central. If they expect you to be guilty, they will ignore the facts that prove you innocent. When they found marijuana, the robbery didn't matter anymore. Now it's what kind of person lives here. Because she's famous, black, and bold. They overcorrected, trying to look tough on crime. No mug shots of the intruders. No, have you seen these men press conferences? No justice, just GloRilla. Now here's where it gets spicy. Let's play devil's advocate for a second. Even if it was hers, so what? You got 3 armed robbers versus a plant in a closet. Which one's the threat? Georgia still arrests folks for possession, but where's the energy when it's fentanyl in the suburbs? Where's that same policy when it's Chad's Lake House with party favors and vape clouds? Y'all protect whiteness like it's on the endangered species list. This is a robbery turned into a magic trick. This wasn't a robbery, it was a magic show. They made the real criminals disappear. They pulled handcuffs out of a hat. This ain't just about GloRilla, this is about every black woman who calls for help and gets handled like harm. This is about the girl who got assaulted and was asked what she was wearing. The mother who lost her child and was told to stop crying so loud. The sister who showed up to court and left in cuffs. Being a black woman in America means proving you're the victim before they'll believe you're not the threat. This reminds me a while ago, I was watching this video on YouTube. This black woman, cool, calm, and collected. Her child comes to her and says, "Mom, Mr. White Man across the street just hit me." She comes outside and she asks Mr. White Man, "Did you hit my son?" And he says, "Yes." The cool, calm, collected black mom calls the police. The police arrive. She tells the police that Mr. White Man hit her child. The Mr. Police, who was also a white man, asked Mr. White Man, "Did you hit her son?" And the boy was a little boy, like about 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. And he said, yes, he did. There was no arrest. The police literally told the woman she would have to get her own warrant to have him arrested. And the reason why it became a video, because that was just wrong. Had it been in reverse, there would have been an arrest. The man admitted to it because he knew his whiteness would keep his hands out of handcuffs. Now, if she would have retaliated, then they probably would have arrested her. The man eventually did get arrested because it caused an outrage in that community. But that was crazy. I literally saw it. It's crazy. Now, this was years ago. I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but if it is, go watch it. It's just the craziest thing. So what do we do now? Call it out. Even when the story fades, the stain remains. Keep speaking. Support each other. When they twist our truth, we untangle it together. Document everything. Documentation beats conversation. Document everything because their reports may lie, but the footage don't. Their reports may lie, but the footage don't. Their reports may lie, but the footage don't. Being a victim should never make you the suspect. Being black should never be probable cause. And being a woman should never make your pain negotiable. So here's your mission, my beautiful black queen. Share this message. Speak up in the comments. And next time someone asks, who does that to a victim? You say, the same system that still ain't arrested the robbers. GloRilla got robbed, then arrested. And if that don't sound like justice in reverse, it's because it is. And that, beautiful black queens, is exactly why we must keep the mic, keep the message, and keep each other covered. Amen. And I say, thank you so much for liking, watching, sharing, subscribing, and turning on that notification bell. Do me a favor, please share this with at least 4 different people. You're more than likely to become like the 4 people you hang around the most. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank God for you. The Jesus in me loves the Jesus in you. It's so easy to love. May my whole life prove that God is good. If all hearts and minds are clear, let's go govern ourselves accordingly.
Where money, you turns big wheels. red. Ma'am, step out, that's what he said. I smile so wide, my fame just spread. Got the whole dash cam, yeah, they press record. But I'm too blessed, can't ever be ignored. If life throws shade, I'ma hit the chord. Got a Grammy numb, you can't afford. Mirror check, lip gloss popping. Flashing lights, but my hustle ain't stopping. Open container, I'm trend topping. Pull me over, but my spirit's shocking. U-turns, big wheels turning, blue lights flashing, my spirit burning. Ticket in my hand, but I'm still earning. Suwani tried to stop me, now I'm world learning. They said I was swerving, I said I was serving. Bars so hot, whole street observing. License and reg, but my flow's unnerving. Cuffed for a moment, but watch me resurging. I'm the queen of Memphis, bringing it live. Even Gwinnett County can't dim my drive. Sip a little truth off my name, revive. While you recitations, I thrive and thrive. Legal fees, stacking, I call that merch. Turn my court date to a Sunday church. From the pulpit to the parking lot perch. I'm a phoenix, baby, watch me lurch. Na na na. U-turns, big wheels turning, blue lights flashing, my spirit burning. Ticket in my hand, but I'm still earning. Suwani tried to stop me, now I'm world learning. Spin that wheel, do a donut flex. Traffic laws trying to break my checks. Pull me over, but I redirect. Respect my name, put it in bold text. Head high, wrist froze, faith in my soul. Red lights can't stop a heart this bold. Ticket in my purse, but my story been told. I'm GloRilla, baby, certified gold. U-turns, big wheels turning, blue lights flashing, my spirit burning. Ticket in my hand, but I'm still earning. Suwani tried to stop me, now I'm world learning. So next time you see me, don't act surprised if I'm switching lanes with the flash in my eyes. Georgia can ticket me, but I rise. Turn my U-turns into platinum skies. So next time you see me, don't act surprised if I'm switching lanes with the flash in my eyes. Georgia can ticket me, but I rise. Turn my U-turns into platinum skies. So next time you see me, don't act surprised if I'm switching lanes with the flash in my eyes. Georgia can't ticket me, but I rise. Turn my U-turns into platinum skies.